£5,000 a night. That's what it costs to sail on the newest ship in the Ritz-Carlton fleet, the Luminara. 226 suites, up to 452 guests, every suite with a private terrace, 5 restaurants, 7 bars and lounges, and nearly 1 crew member per guest. We travelled from Singapore to Hong Kong, spending 2 weeks at sea on this ultra-luxury floating hotel. Want to know what £5,000 a night at sea actually feels like aboard the Luminara? Come, let me show you. First, some context, because this wasn't my first cruise. I'd sailed with Silversea before, which bills itself as luxury cruising, and while I really enjoyed it, parts of it did underwhelm me. The excursions felt crowded and not quite at that luxury standard, and the entertainment was a bit below par. So going into the Ritz-Carlton, I knew it should feel like a step up. The big question in my mind was how much? What was actually going to be that difference? I was hoping that the difference was going to feel substantial, because the difference in price is pretty substantial. So let's get to the cruise. The port in Singapore is where our Luminara experience actually began. There was a dedicated waiting area where we got checked in, and it wasn't a waiting area like any I've been in. A beautiful array of drinks, snacks, cold towels, and staff who could not have been more attentive, and a woman playing the harp, casually in the middle of the cruise terminal. It really built the vibe and our excitement for getting on board. After a short and simple check-in procedure, the walk to the ship began. Energy and excitement were up to 10, and stepping aboard was a huge moment. I had been looking forward to this ship and this cruise for so long, and seeing its beauty in person was a real stop and look moment. The ship is stunning. It looks better than any other cruise ship that you'll see in the port with it. Compared to my first impression of the Silversea ship, really chalk and cheese. Once aboard, everything felt super smooth with a minimal waiting. They really do optimise for getting you to your suite as quickly as possible by pairing you with a member of staff whose sole job it is at that point to get you a cocktail in hand as quickly as possible and to escort you to your accommodations. So let's go and see the suite. The suite we had picked was called the Grand Suite, and it was grand, 603 square feet plus the terrace. Come and have a look. My suite highlights were definitely the bed, so exceptionally comfy and luxuriously large for a cruise. I also loved the getting ready station in the hallway. If you need your dedicated space for skincare and makeup, you will love it. And the thing I didn't expect to love this much, we each had our own mini walk-in wardrobe with store quality lighting. And honestly, it was deeply gratifying to see my things presented like they were in a store for the duration of the voyage. My top suite tip if you do book, get this suite on deck 6. On deck 6, the balconies are noticeably bigger than the same suite on other decks. You can literally see it in the deck plans. So you're just getting a lot more space than most people on the ship, which is highly welcome. We loved our time on the balcony. This suite was midship too, which is the classic cruise pick for minimising motion. Though honestly, this ship is so smooth, I barely felt movement the entire fortnight wherever I was on the ship. Gentle tremors at worst, even in the one genuinely rough patch of sea near the end. Now onto the bit I always care a lot about, the food. There are 6 restaurants on board, 2 from Michelin-starred chefs, and we ate at all of them multiple times. My standout, Heisu Bit, the Asian restaurant. I still dream about every single item that I ate on that menu. The bibimbap I had on our first night was so good. Seta Su was also another memorable one. This restaurant is actually the only one that you'd have to pay extra for, and honestly, I would recommend it. It was really worth it. It is a multi-course tasting extravaganza that rivals Michelin star tasting courses I've had on land. The presentation of each dish was exceptionally beautiful. The other restaurants were fantastic too. In general, I thought the level of dining was extremely high, especially as an all-inclusive, so my expectations were truly surpassed. For our 14-night cruise, it felt like there were more than enough diverse dining options too. It never felt like we were just repeating the same thing over and over. So the variety was perfect for our cruise length. One nitpick on restaurants is that I would have loved to have had an option that was really leaning into menus that were connected to the places that we were going to on our itinerary. On paper, this is what the Azure restaurant was meant to be, but I did feel like they could have gone further and more local with the menus that were on offer there. Let's talk now about the general feel of life on board. Here's what surprised me most about the ship itself. It never once felt like a cruise. 452 guests at absolute capacity, and there were moments I genuinely wondered where everybody was. It is some kind of magic trick, but the ship always felt exclusive, uncrowded and relaxed, even on sea days. Let's take a look at what the ship had to offer on board. The pool deck is generously sized, and most importantly, there were always good sun lounges or cabanas free, all super comfy. Directly next to the pool was the Mistral bar and restaurant, so theoretically it made it very easy to have a drink or snack. I will say that I thought service at the pool could have been better. On a couple of occasions it felt like they were a bit understaffed as it took us a while to be served. Speaking of bars, one of our favourite spots to unwind was the Art Bar, a day-to-night venue serving drinks, afternoon tea, cocktails, with both indoor and outdoor seating depending on your mood and the temperature. We had some very well-made cocktails here and soon crowned it our favourite pre-dinner drink destination. But enough about drinking, let's turn to more healthful pursuits, the spa. Now in general, for restaurants, you could get away with not worrying too much about reservations ahead of time, though if you had very specific dining times, I would recommend booking for sure. But the same cannot be said for the spa. Here it is crucial to book early, ahead of the cruise, so that you can be accommodated. And it is well worth it. The 2 massages I had here were incredible. The deep tissue massage was definitely deep, and I loved how you could have a massage indoors, or actually even outside on deck on your own private spa balcony. The gym too was impressively large, with a great array of machines and equipment. I actually wasn't expecting such a big gym on a ship, but of course, this is the Ritz-Carlton. And then there is the marina, a platform that folds out the back of the ship so that you can swim straight off it, into the open sea, or indulge in water sports. That's where this really stops feeling like a cruise, and starts feeling like someone has just lent you their super yacht. Unfortunately, the days that our marina was planned to be open had to be scrapped due to weather and where the ship was docking, so we didn't get a chance to experience this, which we were really sad about. But here's a view of the marina bar, which is right next to the platform and would serve as your closest place to get drinks and snacks during your experience. Overall, life at sea aboard the Luminara felt like true relaxation. One question I get asked a lot about cruises is, don't you get bored? And honestly, no, not one bit. The port days are frenetic, early starts, go, 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 so your days at sea really become your exhale. A typical sea day for us looks like waking up when we want and watching the sunrise from the balcony, always beautiful. Then breakfast at one of the restaurants, or room service. Then meander up to the pool, and lunch is right there. Then a spa treatment or more sunbathing. Mid-afternoon, we always had the daily trivia with the entertainment team, which was a lot of fun, especially if you're competitive like we are. Pre-dinner drinks, dinner, live music, the quality of the performers is extremely high. Sea days go by so quickly, you wonder what you actually did all day, but each one ends feeling perfect. And on Ritz-Carlton, the service is the thing you feel constantly. With nearly 1 crew member per guest, this did feel really great most of the time. Our sweet ambassador Maria was amazing at anticipating what we needed. Little snacks appearing when she knew we'd been out all day, preferences remembered from one conversation on day one. Oh, and for those who really need it, let me be the first to tell you that the internet on board is genuinely strong. One caveat though, if you're sailing close to China like we were, it gets switched off for as long as you're in Chinese waters. For us, this was around 1 day, so beware of this, obviously depending on your itinerary. Okay, so that's the ship covered, but the magic of a cruise is also what is on offer when you are in port. The quality of the excursions was one thing that had disappointed me on Silversea, so there was a lot riding on the quality of the Ritz-Carlton excursions. Here are 2 moments that should illustrate how I felt. Number 1, our excursion in the Mekong Delta. We got to take our very own sampans, traditional wooden boats, and paddle them through the delta. Lush jungle on either side of a quiet river inlet. I felt transported to another world, and that's the real difference. Being able to indulge in moments that take you out of the everyday and out of the typical tourist traps. A second excursion moment, Koh Samui. After a last-minute itinerary change due to weather, at a moment's notice, the team had organised a private driver and tour guide, and a private tour at an elephant sanctuary. Just the 2 of us and the elephants, completely personalised. Nothing was too much trouble. The Ritz-Carlton team just made it work and got it done. Suffice it to say, I thought the general standards of the Ritz-Carlton excursions were much more befitting of a luxury cruise line, and I would feel very confident in booking more of their excursions on future cruises. There were no huge groups, there was no long waiting, and importantly to me, all the stops had been thought through operationally to ensure the higher standards of Ritz-Carlton still followed us off the ship. This was the marked difference to Silversea. Now, this cruise was not perfect. Here are some of the challenges that we faced. The first is that our shower stall had a pungent smell that had to be rectified at the start of the voyage, which was not what I expected at this price. Second, the service, whilst generally excellent, was inconsistent. It did vary depending on where you were on the ship and who was serving you. There were a lot of really standout members of staff, and a couple who just didn't seem up to the standard of the rest, and those couple were the ones that I did remember. But my biggest frustration was the onboard WhatsApp service. In theory, you could message from anywhere on the ship and someone would sort anything you needed. But in practice, even small requests became a challenge. An example is one night we asked to order from one of the restaurants to the room, and were emphatically declined. On Silversea, they went above and beyond for exactly that kind of request. The other frustration was that the thread itself kept changing hands. You'd start with one person and get a reply from somebody completely different, with none of the context, and there were a few times that this led to real misunderstandings and confusion. Now don't get me wrong, the WhatsApp service is a great idea, but it's just operationalised really poorly. Now none of these challenges are deal breakers, but they were missed opportunities for Ritz-Carlton to truly smash it out the park and leave us feeling like everything was absolutely perfect. So, nearly £70,000 later, is it worth it? And for us, this is a resounding definitely. This cruise really lives up to its luxury billing, and I definitely felt that real step-changing quality from previous cruises. In the taste level, the attention to detail, the quality of the amenities, the food, the service, everything. If you've done a Silversea cruise or similar before, and you're wondering what the next step up actually looks like, this is it. You'll definitely feel and enjoy the difference, even if the price step changes to match. The good news on the price though, it is still an all-inclusive experience. The internet, food, premium drinks, tips, everything is included, though private excursions are on top. The most ringing endorsement I can say is that even with some of the challenges and nitpicks, we are very, very excited to go back to Ritz-Carlton cruises again for a second time. We were left with the most beautiful memories and a true appreciation for the art of cruising done well. So that is the end of our Ritz-Carlton Luminara review. What a ship, what a cruise, and what a holiday. Our next cruise is coming soon, where we will be trying the extremely new Four Seasons yacht in the Caribbean. So if you're curious how that will compare to this, please subscribe. You'll want to be here for it.